Right now, most AI systems don't do anything. They answer and they stop. Agents break that pattern. They plan, act, and adjust. Not because they're more dramatic, but because they're built for work that unfolds over time. And that shift, from single responses to structured processes, is the quiet change that allows AI to automate multi-step work, not just generate responses. To understand what's actually changing, we need to strip the idea back to its structure: what an agent is, how it works, and why this shift matters now. For years, AI has been framed around outputs. You ask a question, you get an answer. The interaction ends. Agents change the shape of the interaction entirely. They're designed for tasks with multiple steps, dependencies, uncertainty, and feedback loops. Tasks that require behavior, not just responses. Traditional model gives you a moment of intelligence. An agent gives you a process. For example, ask a traditional AI to draft an email and it will. But ask an agent to organize a meeting, and it might check calendars, propose times, send invitations, monitor replies, and adjust if someone cancels. This is the structural shift, from systems that respond to systems that run. An agent is not a mysterious entity. It's a loop, a structured cycle that repeats until a goal is complete. The loop begins with perception, reading the current state, whether that's text, images, data, or instructions. From there, the agent plans, breaking a goal into steps and deciding what to do next. Then it acts, using tools, running code, retrieving information, or generating outputs. Finally, it evaluates what happened, adjusts the plan, and begins the cycle again. This loop is the difference between a single answer and a system that can work over hours or days. To make this concrete, imagine a research agent. You give it a question. A traditional model produces one summary and stops. An agent searches for sources, extracts findings, compares methods, tracks contradictions, and updates its conclusions as new papers appear. It isn't producing an answer. It's running a workflow. Under the hood, most agents share the same architecture. It isn't sci-fi. It's engineering. At the center is the reasoning model, the part that interprets instructions and makes decisions. Around it, 3 layers give the agent its structure. The first is working memory, a space to store progress, intermediate results, and what still needs to happen. This is what keeps the agent coherent across long tasks. The second is tools, anything the agent can use, from a browser to a code interpreter to a database or a robot. Tools turn reasoning into action. And the third is the planning loop itself, the cycle that reads the state, chooses an action, executes it, evaluates the result, and updates the plan. This architecture is simple but powerful. It turns a model into a system that can behave. The impact becomes clear when you look at tasks that naturally unfold over time. A research agent can run a multi-day literature review, updating its conclusions as new information appears. A coding agent can trace a failing test through multiple files, propose a fix, run the tests again, and repeat until the entire suite passes. And a robotic agent can adapt when something unexpected appears in its path, replanning its route without freezing or waiting for human intervention. Across all of these examples, the pattern is the same. Agents extend what intelligent systems can do by giving them the ability to work over time, not just in moments. For all their structure, agents are not autonomous beings. They don't have goals of their own. They don't decide what they want. Everything begins with a human-defined objective. They inherit the limitations of the models they're built on. They can misinterpret instructions, make incorrect assumptions, or optimize for the wrong thing if the goal is unclear. Their actions are bounded by the tools they have access to. And even with memory, they don't have long-term understanding in the human sense. They track state, not meaning. This is why oversight still matters. Agents can run processes, but they still need humans to define the goal, set the boundaries, and check the outcomes. especially in high-stakes environments. AI agents aren't a step toward artificial autonomy. They're a step toward structured intelligence. Systems that can plan, act, and adjust within a defined goal. What makes them interesting isn't that they're more dramatic, it's that they're more organized. As the surrounding systems mature, agents will become a natural part of how we work, not replacing human judgment, but extending what we can do. And this shift sets up the next question. If agents are the new shape of intelligent systems, what kinds of models will they be built from? That's what we'll be exploring in the next video. Subscribe to learn more.